Okay, so I just sat down to do this video and then realized I didn't like the shirt I was wearing because it's like a lounge around the house shirt. It was like stretched out and it needs like a close shaver treatment on it. It's too big. So I went and threw the shirt on just so I had something decent to wear. Came back, had never stopped recording. So when I hit the record button, it stopped it. And then I just did like a 10-minute video where I ended it with looking at the camera going, oh, I wasn't recording any of this. In late September, Bear Reads Books did a book tag called Page 112. In his video, he picked up a couple books, flipped to page 112, read them to you, and kind of went from there. I don't know what the official rules of the tags are, but I wasn't tagged in it, so I'm just gonna do it however I want because I don't like limitations. The first thing that I did when I saw his video was reach over, because I've got a stack of books right next to me on the desk, and grab The Starless Sea, which is now buried, which I'm currently reading by Erin Morgenstern. Can you see this here? The bee, the key, the sword. And, oh, look how pretty this is. I need this as wallpaper. And it was the book I was most looking forward to coming out this year. She also wrote The Night Circus, which is one of my favorite books. And so I was interested in seeing what page 112 would have told me if that was the synopsis of the book. I didn't know who Erin Morgenstern was or The Night Circus, and if I would have bought this book at Barnes & Noble or Half Price Books or something just from reading page 112 / on the back of the book, the synopsis of it. So let's flip back to it. And okay, here is page 110, 111. Flip one more page, and there is page 112. See that? Now, this gradient doesn't really tell me anything about this book, so I don't know if I would have picked it up and read it. But, I mean, if I saw the cover, I might pick it up and be like, oh, what are these little thingies mean here? What's a bee, a key, and a sword doing on this book? What do they got to do with the gray gradient? But just from a gradient, sorry, Erin, I would not have read this. Bad page 112. On to her other book that I love, The Night Circus, page 112. Now, if these are like long pages, I'll probably just read like a choice paragraph and not read for like 5 minutes or something, because my voice acting is... Okay, I had to figure out which little part I was going to read because it's kind of describing performance altogether, so I didn't know where to like begin and end that would make any sense. The panic is instant. Those occupying the chairs closest to the flaming chair abandon their seats and rush for the door, only to find that there is no longer a door to be found, only a solid wall. The flames grow steadily higher, staying close to the chair, licking around the wood, though it does not appear to be burning. Bailey looks again at the woman to his left, and she winks at him before standing and walking to the center of the circle. Amidst the panic, she calmly unbuttons her coat and removes it, tossing it with a delicate gesture toward the burning chair. What had been a heavy wool coat becomes a long piece of black silk that ripples like water over the chair. The flames vanish. Only a few lingering wisps of smoke remain, along with the sharp smell of charred wood that is slowly changing to the comforting scent of a fireplace, tinged with something like cinnamon or clove. The woman standing in the center of the circle of chairs pulls back the black silk with a flourish, revealing a still intact chair on which now perch several snow-white doves. I would totally read this book based on that. Oh my God, this book is so, look how pretty, oh, look at it. Can I get, oh, see that rainbow sheen? This book is beautiful. It is amazing. If it had deckled edges, I would die. Let's see what it looks like in here, I can't remember. Even that's pretty pretty. See? Is there a rainbow to that? No, I think it's just silver. But it's beautiful. The whole book is filled with like imagery. I swear the whole, if it was like made into a movie, it would be the most beautiful visuals ever. I need to reread this as soon as I finish The Starless Sea. Okay. Now continuing from The Night Circus, On to a book that everybody said, if you love the Night Circus, you should really read, you know what I'm about to say, Caravelle, which also has like rainbow shimmer. Woo! I don't know. It just wasn't as good. It felt like the middle grade version of the Night Circus, I guess. Like none of the characters were fleshed out well. None of the description was as good. The overall like plot of the story wasn't as interesting. It just wasn't for me. Oh, page 116. Okay, let's see page 112 here. Okay, let me find somewhere. At the end of the hall, Scarlet slumped to the floor. Rough wooden boards rubbed awkwardly beneath her. It was colder on this lower level than it had been up the stairs. Or maybe she only felt chilly because of Tella's dismissal. She'd chosen someone else over Scarlet, a young man whose name Tella probably didn't even know. While Scarlet often feared men, Tella was the opposite, always chasing after the wrong ones, hoping one might give her the love their father withheld. I don't know, do you have like daddy issues and a sister that you take care of? Read Caravelle. You might like it. If you want some beautiful imagery, read The Night Circus, because it's like, they're not even in comparison. No. Anybody who says, oh, if you like this, read this, has never really read this. Okay? Another one that I was thinking of right away when I was watching Bear's video was this one. And I'll read first before I tell you what it is, because I think it's like the cute passages in the book. I haven't finished them, I'm only on page, I'm this far. I need to read this much. All I know is this. I refuse to miss this chance. I scramble back to my room, open my laptop, and type. Are you the boy from the post office? I feel super awkward right now, and I can't believe I'm doing this, but here we go. We talked for a few minutes at the post office on Lexington. I was the guy in the hot dog tie. You were the guy mailing stuff back to your ex-boyfriend. I loved your laugh. Wish I'd gotten your number. Want to give me a second chance here, universe? arthur.seuss@gmail.com. It is so cute. Okay. It is so cute. It is like a meet cute between two boys in New York City, and then something like crazy out of a romantic comedy happens that ends up like separating them, and they lose each other in a crowd, and then it's like them in alternating chapters going back and forth trying to find each other again. It is adorable. It is adorable. The first chapter of this book, it made me know I just wanted to go on Goodreads and give it 5 stars. It was so cute. It was so awkward. It was so cute. It was totally something I would have done in my 20s or teens, and that nobody else would have done for me. Underappreciated. Hello. And that is What If It's Us. It's so cute. You should read it. I know I like a book because I'll start it. I'll get to, well, my Goodreads says I get to about 56% and then stop reading because I'm paranoid that the story is going to end on me when I finish the book, and I won't have any more of it. So I just stop at 56%. It seems to be the magic number. Earlier, like a month ago, I had like 6 books that were at 54 to 56% on Goodreads, and I was trying to find a new book to start. Finish a book, Elliot. On to a book that is probably picking up in popularity right now because there is a visual representation on the screen for it. Let's read it first. I'm sure you guys have maybe already even figured it out. You ain't Egyptian, Lyra. You might pass for Egyptian with practice, but there's more to us than Egyptian language. There's deeps in us and strong currents. We're water people all through, and you ain't. You're a fire person. What you're most like is marsh fire, and that's the place you have in the Egyptian scheme. You got witch oil in your soul. Deceptive, that's what you are, child. Lyra was hurt. I ain't never deceived anyone. You asked. There was no one to ask, of course, and Ma Costa laughed, but kindly. Can't you see I'm paying you a compliment, you gosling? She said, and Lyra was pacified, though she didn't understand. That's, of course, from The Golden Compass, my deluxe 10th anniversary edition. It's gorgeous! And it does have fancy edges. Look at that. I love that. Anyways, that's one of my favorite series, and it's got a new show on HBO. Don't watch the old movie. Don't watch the old movie. Just watch the HBO show. It's drastically better. Another book that I've got sitting here is, let me read it first. Let me read it first. 216, 114, 112. Okay. Potential hazards. The Copernicus incident demonstrates we are not fully aware of Aiden's current operational capacity. On revival, Aiden may not respond to restraints as anticipated, or the restraints may not function as expected. Danger exists for both Alexander and Hypatia personnel. This must, however, be weighed against the danger of doing nothing. Revival scenarios will be run over the next 24 to 48 hours. We are aiming to establish a scenario with a better than 90% chance of full control. If this is achieved, we recommend Aiden be revived. If you have any further questions or wish to discuss options, we are available at your convenience. Colonel Ava Sanchez, Major Nico Lassinger, Major Lisa Barker, classified. This is from Luminaire, which is a very visual book. It's all done in like texts and emails. It's very interesting to look at. There is, there's pages that's just pictures, pages with crazy gigantic lists. It's just like an interesting looking book. I think if I picked this book up, this is what I did. I picked this book up and flipped into it, and it was just like, oh my God, I have to read this book. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know it was about spaceships and people escaping on spaceships who are communicating from one ship to another ship or anything like that. Also because this is the hardback, but it's got a plastic cover over it that's like see-through, translucent orange. And it's crazy and interesting looking too. And it's got like all this redacted kind of stuff underneath it that you can kind of see through with this kind of like orange and yellow watercolor overlay on it. It's beautiful. And I knew I had to have it from just seeing the cover, seeing the spine of it on a shelf before they end up changing the covers, because it was so cool. I was like, I'm gonna end up having to pay like $300 for that cover if I wait like 5 years or whatever. Then picked it up and saw the inside, and it was equally amazing on the inside, so I had to have it. But then I ended up finding out the book is like about people in space. Like I think it's a girl and a guy. There's a girl on one ship escaping Earth, and there's a boy on another ship escaping Earth, and I think they're going in opposite directions. And they're like communicating via email, and something happens, and they're in love or something. I don't know. But I don't know, spaceshipy stuff doesn't usually grab me. I love the Ender's Game series, despite the fact that Orson Scott Card hates me. I don't know. Like maybe when I just feel like reading a book that's interestingly laid out, I'll get into this. Like look at that, that's just like neat. There's just like neat stuff all in it. Like I feel like if they had like a whole shelf in a store devoted to this series, there would be all kinds of little knickknacks you could buy to put on your bookshelf. And I like that. Anyways, I guess that's all I have to say. This video says 19 minutes and 19 seconds. It's obviously going to be edited down. Thank you for watching. Don't subscribe or anything yet because, it's only one video. Don't subscribe till there's like, enough videos that you can wash dishes or something, or fold laundry in the background while I'm back. Nobody looks good with these close-up wide-angle lenses.